The Clone Wars of One Piece has just begun, and I feel like we're just getting the tip of the iceberg of all the craziness that will come when all major battles start. Because right now, we're just starting. This is not the major battles we are expecting. We're expecting to see more major battles than what's going on in the story right now. So when that goes down, then the clones and the revival jutsu will be in full swing, and I expect to see that. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about and you're unsure whether you're up to date or you should be watching this video, go to the description, check. I put a tag there for all the videos, so just make sure that you're up to date. Or if you don't care about that, keep watching. Right? We're talking about the Clone Wars. Now, the actual idea of clones in One Piece, I thought that would be a Germa and their kingdom. Maybe we might get some interesting stuff. Because I thought about it. I'm like, Judge, you took your best soldiers and cloned them. Why didn't you take someone else's best soldiers and clone them? Right? But Oda knew. Obviously, with the Seraphim, everything has come to a head. All the science we've seen, not all the science we've seen. A lot of the science we've seen has become merged, and possibly now that I'm thinking about it, there's a bit more science that we haven't seen with the Seraphim that I do want and I do expect to see sometime in the future. Because the Seraphim involve clones, devil fruits, and, a lot of actual stuff that's been researched. The only thing that I haven't seen with them is Judge's tech. Maybe Judge was just the best and Vegapunk, it would take Vegapunk too long to recreate that, but the exoskeleton thing, as well as all of their individual abilities with the Germa kids, I don't know, is that a Seraphim thing that's going to be revealed later? I don't know. But let's get back to clones, right? Clones of the Seraphim being clones of the clones of the Seraphim? What? The Seraphim being clones of the warlords, right? That's one thing we've got going. Obviously, we've got Judge and his clones. That's another thing. But now we're finding out that there's a potential that some Rocks members were cloned. Obviously, with the reveal that Miss Barkin Stussy is a clone. So Barkin Weevil's mom was cloned into Stussy, the CP0 agent. And potentially Weevil is part of that. Instead of Weevil being actually Whitebeard's son, Weevil could potentially be a clone of Whitebeard, a possibly failed clone of Whitebeard, due to the fact that he looks nothing like Whitebeard. You'd expect a clone to look like the original. When it was Whitebeard's son, that was fine that he didn't resemble him too much. Kids are not a copy-paste of their parents, but, a clone should look a bit closer. I'd say Vegapunk probably also considers Weevil a failure if he's a clone. But possibly a bit more than just cloning is probably going on with Weevil because, there's... How do I say? Weevil seems to be capable. He seems to be able. It doesn't seem to just be like a failed clone. Right? And obviously, as always, it's not going to be like the regular story beats of good characters coming back as evil or something like that. There's going to be good characters coming back good, evil characters coming back evil, good characters coming back evil, evil characters coming back good. It's going to be a mix and match, and I expect it to switch and switch as it has been with the Seraphim, right? Sometimes the Seraphim are with the good guys, sometimes they are against the good guys. So I expect a lot more than that. By the way, this is not really the point of this video, but I expect quite a bit as well from the zombies, right? The idea of Moria, because Moria's fruit is with Blackbeard, and Moria is with Blackbeard. I don't see a way in which Moria is not with Blackbeard, because I see two options. One, as they say, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. Easy way is Moria just gives up and joins Blackbeard. The hard way is Moria refuses, he fights, he dies, they take his fruit, use it to reanimate him, and Moria joins Blackbeard. We can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. But with Moria's fruit, possibility that he will steal bodies, Blackbeard will steal some bodies and reanimate some characters that we've seen in the past. I don't know. Will we see Ace and Whitebeard's body back? I don't know. I don't know about that one. Where's Roger's body buried? Roger's beard? Where's Roger's body buried? I have no idea. But I'm interested. But let's get back to the clones. Because now, it seems that Oda is doing it in groups of characters. So when it was Judge and his group, it was the Germa Kingdom making clones of their people. When it was the Seraphim, it became the warlords are the basis of the Seraphim, right? The warlords, which makes sense. The warlords are like the strongest pirates on the sea outside of the emperors. But like the warlords are the strongest pirates on the sea. So you got Seraphim of them. But now the possibility that we've got Seraphim, not Seraphim, but clones of certain people from the Rocks Pirates, right? Already confirmed is Stussy, but potentially Whitebeard seems inevitable at this point. But the question is, who else? Who else has a clone? Now, when we talk about clones, it doesn't mean that this character is just coming back. As we've seen possibly with Weevil, we may get an introduction of a new character. And that new character might be based off of an old character, right? Now, it would seem, now obviously I do realize that there is a problem with this and the weirdness with just like, with Weevil's been in the story for a while. So this is like a nice reveal, right? Are we going to get a reveal like this about somebody else? We may just have to have a new character, right? So is this it? Is Weevil and Stussy it? I'd like to think not. Maybe it might be, but I'd like to just speculate as to who else might have been cloned from the Rocks Pirates. Obviously, it's not going to be Big Mom, right? Because Big Mom, how are you even going to get a sample of her, right? You can't even pierce her skin. So it's not going to be Big Mom. I don't think so. But a baby Rocks, bringing back the idea of Rocks. Crazy enough. I don't know. This idea just came to me right now on the spot. If we're talking about clones and revealing somebody's a clone of somebody else, right? Established character who shares similarities with a past character, especially from theories. What if Blackbeard's a clone of Rocks? Like, think about that. Blackbeard, a clone of Rocks. So just like Weevil is a clone of Whitebeard, but Weevil is an entirely different person. Feels differently, looks different, acts different, lives a different life. He thinks he's the son. He doesn't even think he is Whitebeard. He thinks he's the son. Blackbeard being a clone of Rocks. Everything about Blackbeard screams Rocks. His ship, the idea that he holds, his relationship with Luffy in the story, everything screams Rocks. What if Blackbeard is actually a clone of Rocks D. Zebek, which was possibly, maybe it was thought to be a failure, but now he's actually successful. But maybe, what if he actually is a failure, right? Because that's a really interesting point. Like, even in the chapter where we found out about Stussy and Buckingham, there was a quote there about, it doesn't matter what anyone says, this person is real. This person is truth. Like, the idea of what is fake and what is real, who counts as fake and real, that's been a question that's up for debate, right? It's your opinion. But Blackbeard being a clone of Rocks, how about that? Like, now I'm invested in this. Now I just want to talk about this a bit more. We'll get to other people, but like, if Blackbeard was a clone of Rocks, right, then you would have such a nice continuation, a nice way to spin the story, bring back old sections of the story. Stuff like, flashbacks with Vegapunk, flashbacks with the Rocks Pirates. It's a nice segue. Talking about possibly Whitebeard's relationship with Rocks, Whitebeard's relationship with Blackbeard. That would be nice as well. It'd also be nice to see, like, nature versus nurture. I don't know if I said that the right way around, but nature versus nurture, right? Is Blackbeard similar to Rocks because he's a clone of Rocks? Or was it something that, like, he was just brought up again? Like, the world will naturally, like, just turn somebody into Rocks. It just happened to be Rocks' clone this time, right? Like, in every era, there will naturally be a Rocks D. Zebek that comes up. It just happens to be his clone. Or is it like Rocks D. Zebek, like, no matter where you put him, he'll always be that twisted person? There's many interesting things I come up with. I like this. Blackbeard is a clone. I like this. But let's quickly just think about some of the other Rocks Pirates and some of their possibilities. Like, do we think we're going to see a Kaido? Like a clone of Kaido? Because we know Vegapunk experimented on Kaido enough to even take his devil fruit and copy it into a different color. To be honest, that's an achievement. He not only copied Kaido's devil fruit, but changed the color, right? It's a new skin. Literally. But a new skin of the same devil fruit. that has to be like 110% success, you know? But I understand that's not what he was going for, so technically it's a failure. But do we think we'll see a clone of Kaido? Do we think like, and if we did, do we think that it would be the same? I want to guess maybe not, right? Maybe if a member of Rock's Pirates has kids, we will not see another version of them because we already have their kids to be the new version of them, right? So maybe not with Kaido because he has Yamato. Big Mom has all her kids. Besides Big Mom, there ain't no way they're taking Big Mom's DNA. If we're going with my headcanon, Captain John's children being Alti in page 1 because Kaido adopted them. They were the children of a pirate he knew. Look at the hair colors. Wang Ji, maybe. We don't know enough about Ochoku. Maybe. Somebody like Silver Axe, possibly. Shiki. Ooh, will we see a Shiki clone? Shiki is already somewhere in the One Piece world, catching some Z's, sipping on juice on a sunny island. But will we see a clone of him show up in the story? I don't think we'll see somebody like, if Higurashi was on the Rock's Pirates, I don't think we'll see a clone of them. They don't. Wano is done. But Shiki is an interesting one. But I'm just thinking, right? Like, even if they were established, like, where would they be right now? Like, in the One Piece world right now, where would these characters be? Because we had one in CP0. We have one being a pirate. So we only have 2 other places that an established character could be. Marines, revolutionaries. And I'm interested to see, maybe we might get, like, somebody who is a Marine right now being this person. But I can't think of any Marine. Like, of all the established Marines, I can't really think of anybody who it will turn out is a clone. And like, I guess to what end at the same time? And also, I can't think of anyone who would be in the revolutionaries. But what about other characters in the story? What about other people? Shanks. Obviously, Shanks and the theory of him being the son of Rocks, but, you know, could Shanks be like, no. Ooh. I'm torn on that one. What do you guys think? I really like the Blackbeard is a clone more, but I'm thinking about Shanks being the clone of Zebek to really explain Shanks' actions. Because Shanks, up until the end of Wano, Shanks had like this more like, I'm taking a back seat, I'm just gonna let everything happen and let Luffy do his thing. But now he seems like he's taking an active role. So Shanks being a clone of Zebek instead is also quite interesting now that I think about it. Tying his storyline, right? Maybe he knows he's a clone, so he feels unworthy. Maybe he knows he's a clone and, you know, that's why he's trying to set someone else to do it. Maybe he knows he's a clone and so he's also gonna, you know, a part of him still wants to achieve that dream in a certain way. That's why he's now saying, we're going after the One Piece. It'd be a nice way to tie his story. A bit more like, give me those Ace vibes, right? The feeling of coming from a great pirate, being somehow the offspring of a great One Piece pirate, but feeling unworthy and setting Luffy up to be that hero instead of themselves. So it'd be nice for Shanks' story, but I don't know if we'll get to see that. We might not. I'm not sure. But Shanks or Black, I'm now convinced one of them has to be a clone. I like this idea so much. Because even at this point, we don't even know what Shanks is doing. Shanks just threw us a curveball at the end of Wano. And if Shanks is a clone, I'm just saying, I'm going to be surprised but not surprised. But let me know what you guys think. Because now, more than ever, I want the Clone Wars. I want to find out who's been lying to us that they're actually a clone of somebody else. And maybe some characters don't even know. It'd be interesting to find a character who didn't know they were a clone and then now they're finding out. I mean, there's Weevil, but like somebody else. Like, is there anybody else who this is the case for? What if Buggy and Shanks are both clones? I mean, because they come as a pair, don't they? Right? And then maybe Buggy's like the failed clone. And he still remembers Wang Ji from that Rock's DNA. Not Wang Ji, Captain John from that Rock's DNA. And he knows Captain John as a treasure. No, okay, leave. Buggy D. Cloud is a Pirate King, so he can't be a clone. But Shanks and Blackbeard. Blackbeard for the story, Shanks for wrapping up his story. I like that idea. And it would be so insane. Like, okay, I don't really believe in this theory, but just taking the idea that, you know, Eam is actually Rox. If Eam is Rox and Blackbeard is the clone of Rox, that would actually make for like a way to tie up the ending of One Piece into like one neat package, right? Because then we'll be going into something more like My Hero-esque, because instead of like asking ourselves, is the final villain Blackbeard or is the final villain Eam? No, the final villain is Rox. Rox is both of them, right? Because, I mean, spoilers for the most recent season of My Hero, like skip to the next 10 seconds. But like basically right now, we're not fighting Shigaraki. We're not fighting All for One. We're fighting both. They're the same person right now, kind of. Yeah. But like, you know, like that would be a way to tie the story, which, wow. I may have to rethink the thumbnail of this video. But you guys will never know I had to do that. Thank you guys for listening. Yo, this really just turned into a Blackbeard is a clone video, but hey, you know, I'm just here to discuss One Piece. It's great. So let me know what you think about the clones, who you think is a clone, will we see more clones, anything special about the clones, how will the Clone Wars end in One Piece? Let me know what you think, all that down below. As always, guys, like the video, tell your friends, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.